Everybody, we are Ana Garcia and Luis Villasmil, and we're about to show you a brief look into tourism and economics. In this particular presentation, our emphasis is going to be on the statistics that Venezuela showed in the last year on its tourism activities. In general terms, we could say that job creation is the main positive effect that tourism has created. According to the 2017 Economic Impact Report by the World Tourism and Travel Council, this particular industry is responsible of creating 1 out of 10 jobs. Inbound tourism is the one that can bring direct and immediate benefits to the country that is receiving the influx of people, like jobs, taxes, and investment in further touristic infrastructure, while outbound tourism benefits from purchases of plane tickets, travel insurance, and new travel clothing from the people. Multiplier effect shows how the touristic influx and its activity affect and benefit the tertiary sector of the economy, and also how it has a positive impact on the secondary and primary sectors. All this is because of how the money spent by a tourist circulates through the economy. Multiplier effect has two main elements, which are links and leakage. For example, when a tourist spends money at a hotel, it links to local providers, drivers, and employees, but it also leaks when the expenditure ends up abroad.
Payments, or BOP, encompasses all the transactions between a country's citizens and foreigners involving goods and services. Within the BOP exists one subclassification known as services, which include tourism among other classifications. Another is that if there is a deficit between the incomes and the outcomes of a country, it can be devastating and can lead to an economical crisis. Tourism is one of the pillars that can help balance the BOP of a country, and as such is extremely important for the economic stability of the country. Accounts are a resource. According to the Economic Impact 2018 Mexico, developed by the United Nations Statistical Division, the Statistical Office of European Communities, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, and World Tourism Organization. The amount of direct GDP that tourism contributes to a country. That's the function of satellite accounts, GDP being gross domestic product, which can be used to invest in other necessities or to enhance other industries. With this data, a country can measure how much more or less money tourism is injecting in.
According to the UN Tourism 2018 Highlights Edition, the two main indicators we should take into account are the receipts and arrivals. The total amount of international tourism receipts were around $1,340 billion, which represents a 5% growth in the retrospect with the year 2007. To develop this point, the Travel and Tourism Competitiveness Index shows that tourism contributed with $7.6 trillion to the global economy, 10.2% of the global GDP, and generated 292 million jobs worldwide. Now, in regards to the Americas, we can say that according to the UN Tourism Highlights, around 210.9 million tourists visit North America, the Caribbean, Central America, and also South America in the year 2017. When the Americas are the third biggest destination for tourism worldwide, the amount of tourists that visited Venezuela in the last year were not calculated, as the exact number doesn't show in the list. Only the numbers for the years 2017 and 2015 show.
The top spenders and their orientation of their international trips differs from country to country. The country that has more tourists around the globe is China, but the country that has more tourists around the globe spending in its country is France. The competitiveness report regarding of tourism is the capacity of a country to provide levels of prosperity to their citizens or to invest in certain area such as tourism and how competent it is in that job. Venezuela is ranked in the 127th place out of the 137 countries. The pillars are enabling environment, which includes business environment, safety, health and hygiene, human resources, and the second pillar is TNT policy, prioritization, internationalization, price, and environment sustainability. Pillars of competitiveness are infrastructure and natural cultural resources. Infrastructure dedicated to all the medium of transports around the country, and natural and cultural resources, which are natural resources such as trees, mountains, whatever, and cultural resources. Venezuela is lacking in all the different pillars, such as enabling environment, because the government doesn't give any guarantees, the TNT policies because we don't have any priorities, the infrastructure is all abandoned, and the natural cultural resources are somewhat okay but need some work.
This has been our presentation so far. We hope that you have found this enlightening and interested as well as we do and we did when we researched it. Thank you so much for your attention, and for any other further information we'll leave the links below.